thank you for coming and being here. I know it's great efforts for many of you. I know some of you traveled since the crack of dawn yesterday, and you all came in with smiles on your faces and brushed the road dust off your seats and went to the dance, and you did some shaking of booties. So thank you. Two paws up to all the booty shaking, okay? I wanted to tell you that the reason why this work is so important to me is because on my life path, it hasn't been smooth all the time. And I lived a life for a long time with a lot of darkness and despair and self-loathing that frankly crippled me. And I use that language with intent. And I was very fortunate to have some convergences that came together in my life. Some very horrible and tragic things, like the loss of a very important career, the loss of my home and my family and my cat and all that was important to me. And I found myself living in the backseat of my Oldsmobile 98. Luckily, it was one of those old ones, and it was big, and it housed me rather adequately. God knows I couldn't afford to buy gas in it for it, so it may as well have been my home. But it really was a wake-up call for me to either figure this thing out or die. And that's really where I was. And I've been a person who's been lucky to be able to continue to work. I actually lived in the backseat of the car. I was a nurse at that point in my life. I actually would go into the facility where I was working early in the morning under the cover of darkness, and I would shower and get ready for work and go onto the unit and do my day's work, and then I would go back to my car. But I was sick, and I was in despair, and of course I lost that job and had nowhere to turn. I did continue to seek employment, was able to find another job, and through that job I found tools and vehicles to recovery. And the two primary things that moved me forward on my recovery path is I found the work of Stephen Covey, and he's the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and I learned about setting life goals. Back in the day when I was the sickest and the times were the darkest, there wasn't a lot of recovery talked about in our system. We were given diagnosis, life sentences that said, here's your illness, here's a bag of medication, good luck with bearing up with it. And that's kind of where it began and ended. And institutional care was kind of the last stop on the train. And I didn't want those things. I was sure that there was something else for me. And really 3 things came to bear. I found this setting life goals, and I set 10 major life goals. I found an organization that's now called USPRA, the United States Psychiatric Rehabilitation Association, formerly called IAPSRIS, and it is a recovery-oriented organization, psychiatric rehabilitation, and I found this concept that we consumers can and do recover. We can all recover, and we do. And I found the Wellness Recovery Action Plan. The recovery journey is at the speed for wherever you are and whatever works for you, and it's going to be different speeds and durations and times for you. The key is is to have the hope, to believe, to know that whatever it is, you can face it, you can deal with it, and you can move on. And to know that there are brighter days, and that you do have the capacity to run your own life, to live your life, a life of your choosing, to work, to love, to have a date on Saturday night. Imagine that, I'm happily married, and 10 years ago someone would have said that I would be happily married today to a lovely man. I would have said, well, you clearly haven't known me for these 40 years because I'm a loser with relationships. I have a great job. I have friends. I have a whole room of people that was kind enough to come out and hear me talk to you this morning. I get to serve each and every one of our 3,000 plus members day after day with great joy and great pride. And I'm happy to say that the work that you allow me to do with you is actually what keeps me on my path today. And I challenge you all to claw your way onto that recovery path, whatever it is. I challenge you to access wellness and to take care of yourselves, mind, body, spirit, whatever that means to you and whatever that works for you. And I challenge you to live your dreams and embrace your hope. And I thank you for being here with us today.